I saw how Mercedes laughed when Joe said that, because she knows that Joe doesn't say anything for nothing. Somehow you ask the Earth Mother, you know, show me, tell me,
Right.
make it clear, where am I going?
Montana.
And
I'm going
you
to
know
Montana.
that. And Joe out of the blue says, so you're moving to Montana. And it's like, that's how you pick up and you channel things that comes through. But if
Right.
you need more clarity, asking Earth Mother is like, if Montana is the place that I am to move, prove it or show me
Yes.
where. And then
Exactly.
you're narrowing it down, the more specificity that you put into your question. And it's like, okay, over the next week, I'm asking you to, and then giving offerings to Earth Mother when you're doing that. If Montana is where I am meant to move, start showing me.
Yeah, then we'll be neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. There is one place in Montana that we lived quite close to the border of Montana there for a while, and we would go to, or I would go to Columbia Falls by Waterton Parks there, and there is a vortex there.
Ooh.
And it's called the House of Mystery, the Montana Vortex. I mean, I went there like 3 times, and the owner of it, his name is Joe, and I have him as a friend on Facebook, so I get to see what's going on at the Montana Vortex often, and it is a really powerful spot in the way of like vortex energy, and the studies that they've done on Earth with the vortexes. There's one in Montana, there's one in Oregon, and they're at the exact degrees as Orion's constellation.
Oh my God.
The 3 stars of the belt. And then there's a third one, right, of the third star, and that's in the ocean. They've got signs up and how the degrees of everything of their vortex sites, and they're finding little spots that are activated as well, and the trees grow funny, and it's very, very interesting. Lots of pictures where people's bodies are half cut off, and people seeing auras.
Oh my God.
The energy gets all twisted. Yeah, it's a really
Wow.
neat place, and that's Montana, and so can be curious. Like, they made it into a roadside attraction, but of course there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some place where you put down like a ball and it rolls uphill. Like it literally will get pulled uphill instead of going down. It goes uphill. And she was in the house where there's this slanted house, and there's something about a broom. If you let it go, it stands up. Like it'll stay stood up. One of those old cob brooms. Lots of really strange things. There's lots of other stuff there that they do. It's like anomalies. She was telling me about an area where you stand on this one thing and you will shrink, and the person on the opposite end will stretch. And then when you switch, that person will shrink and the other person will stretch.
That's
and you can
interesting.
take pictures. Yeah, you can see it with photographs. You can see it with your eyes. It's really neat. And I was listening to Leo King, another astrologer that you all may know. And then he was saying, especially for the people in the United States, to be really mindful of where it is that you choose to live. And it's really important right now for you to decide. And what state would align with what it is that you believe in, and or what you value, because of the political environment that's going to happen, especially with COVID and stuff like that. It will become, in his predictions, that it will be like state run, not government run. And so you have to see which state aligns with you, because you may be like stuck in your state. Like they may close down the borders where you cannot leave your state to go to another one. So that's where you need to make your decisions now versus later. And keep that in mind when you're doing that, pondering where you're going to go and when. And Earth Mother will move you. And that was where I wanted to go with it a little bit as well today, that I felt that kept popping up into my head. It's the same with our friends. And I got it from Leo King's 2020 video. And he's like, look at who you're aligned with. And, you know, the spirituality that you're in and your belief systems. And if you are if you're hanging around with people that aren't aligned with your values or your beliefs, your ways, it's going to get really hard. There's going to be a conflict that happens between you and them. And as you move forward throughout this year, it would be in your best interest to just make the disconnect from those people that are always sort of creating conflict with you based on your belief systems, because I guess there's the same planetary alignment that happened the same year of the Salem witch trials is the same thing that what we're in as well. And so we're going to be like, so it's got that same vibrational energy, right? It's not that we're going to be murdered, but we may be persecuted, or whoever. It's just your opposites, your opposing viewpoints. And that's where it is important to know where you're going to live and if it's in alignment with your belief systems and your ways. Like, because from state to state, it varies if it's a red or a blue state or whatever that means, and then countries as well. It's like there's different energy vibrations. And of course, this is on Earth Mother too, right? And when I was listening to it, I was like, oh my gosh, where do we got to move? And all these different thoughts about where to move. And it was like, it made a big difference when I thought of, do they share the same energies as, do these cities share the same energy that we are in? And I got a clear no on a few of them. So I'm like, oh, that settles it. So there's an asking there, right? An asking of alignment with your people, your friends, your family. And then if you have a difficulty disconnecting from them, ask the universe to help you in making that disconnection. You know, it's like get them to do the work. And it's like, okay, if this person, I don't know how to move this person on from around me, even if it's just for a little while, even if it's just for a year, can you guys do the work for me? Because I don't know how to do it, or guide me. So it's not just thinking, you know, I have to do all of this. There's an engaging with the universe as well when you're doing all of that.